How's it going, guys, and welcome to this live showdown between Bretonnia and the Wood Elves. In this match, we're going to go with the FEY Enchantress for our Lord. I definitely think she's a pretty safe pick, but we're going to kind of change up her spells a little bit. So we do have Earthblood, of course, which is pretty much a staple. I mean, it's incredibly good, especially when you have expensive cav units like Knights of the Realm and Royal Pegasus Knights. But on top of that, we're going to try out Shield of Thorns. So this actually gives you 25% weapon damage and also gives you missile resist. So I feel like that might have a bit of a niche against the High Elves. For example, if we have some cav units that are taking some very heavy missile fire from like Glade Guards or pretty much any of their other missile units, we can give them the missile resist and also the damage boost. So hopefully that'll help out. For our infantry, we do have Battle Pilgrims. I feel like they trade pretty well with Dryads and with, Eternal Guards and things like that. A very safe pick. We're also going to get the KRELL Reliquae just to kind of, give them that leadership in case he tries to get fancy with a dragon or something. And again, I just think having the leadership, even without the immunity to psychology being pertinent, is pretty good. But Knights of the Realm should be able to beat Wild Riders. They do have more armor. They have an anti-large bonus. In my experience, they've done pretty well. We're also going to get 2 Knight Errants, and these guys are just very cheap. I mean, they cost pretty much the same as a Battle Pilgrim. And honestly, they have a decent little charge bonus of 48. So against Dryads and War Dancers and, Archers in the back line, I'm hoping that these guys can generate some pretty good value for me. So we are fighting on the lake here. I'm not even going to try and say that how would you say that? Zuhua Lake? Zuhua Lake, maybe? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that was close. I feel like that was a bold attempt there. But yeah, we're going to see how this works out. The favor of the FEY is going to be pretty good. We do have one group of Pegasus Knights, so if he does have an Air Force, like if he has a Dragon or something like that, we neutralize his Archers. So if the Archers are taken out by Knight Errants or swarmed by Men-at-Arms, which we do have a lot of, we can then get the Pegasus Knights and potentially pressure his Lord up in the air, especially with the favor of the FEY and the Flesh to Stone, which is going to give them a nice little, not Flesh to Stone, what is that ability called? You never see it, so I totally don't even know the name. Shield of Thorns, okay, so yeah. It'll give us weapon damage and missile resist, which should be pretty powerful. All right, so let's go ahead and get our front line. So it's just going to be Battle Pilgrims in the front. So we can actually arrange the front line here. And for those of you guys that haven't seen this, you can actually arrange your troops here. And then when you deploy them, they'll deploy in that fashion, which is very, very nice. So the Men-at-Arms can go here. And I've also seen some people use Men-at-Arms in a way where they use them with chevrons. And they actually get some pretty good value when you put a bunch of chevrons on. But for the sake of this build, we are not going to do that. So let's go ahead and get the KRELL Reliquae in the middle, just kind of supporting our main battle line that we really want to hold. The FEY Enchantress can be lurking there, and she's pretty hard to catch. The FEY Enchantress is quite slippery. We're going to get these spears over here. So every now and then on ladder, you do run into someone who gets a little bit hog wild and brings like a full Durthu build. So we just want to have something in case they do that. That's kind of the main thing. So we're going to get our 2 cav units, one here and one here. They're going to ride together. They should be able to have a nice little kind of tag team going on. Great. Okay, so everything's good. Good luck to my opponent. And hopefully you guys don't mind the sound. I got a new mechanical keyboard, so this might be a bit more loud than usual, but we're going to see how it goes. All right, so he has a very archer heavy build. It looks like those are going to be Glade Guards with Starfire Shafts, which I'm actually pretty happy that we didn't bring our own archers. We just have a bunch of fairly cheap infantry, and honestly, I don't really mind taking fire on anything here. He's probably going to try and focus down the KRELL Reliquae, which wouldn't be a bad idea. And the Royal Pegasus Knights we need to be very patient with, so we're probably just going to keep them back. He does have the mighty Mel Gibson over here, and let's see what he has for a caster. Okay, so he's going to be reforming ranks. He has a very tight formation, so this is definitely a bit of an interesting build. I don't know if I would use it myself, but maybe he's going to be able to make it work. So let's get our cav up and around the flanks here. We'll get these ones up, and we want to stay just out of the range of his missiles. And these Pegasus Knights, let's do a bit of a shift move over there, get them up and around the back. So I don't even know if he has a caster. Does he have a branch wraith or something? I don't know. We'll find out in just a moment. So we're going to go ahead and advance here, and we're going to start taking some fire on Men-at-Arms and troops that are basically designed to take fire, which is good for us. So, all right, so let's just kind of keep marching in here, and he can waste all the ammunition he wants on Men-at-Arms. Our cav are just out of his range here, so we're going to get those guys kind of circling around the back here, and it looks like we've discovered some hidden foes, which is fine. We can go ahead and charge them, and with this one group, we're going to actually pull around the back, so we're going to go up and over. So this is something that I really like pairing cav for. So you pull the one group up while the other one's fighting, and if you have a 2v1 situation, you can then pin them like that. It works out pretty well. So our other cav are going to be coming here, and as soon as we force his archers back, we should be able to get some pretty good value there. So we are taking a ton of damage. So since he's probably going to pull his archers back, we can go ahead and engage on the troops behind them, which is always going to be a little bit prudent, just so you don't have to repath your units. So let's go ahead and do this, and these guys can go ahead and go here. And as soon as those guys get forced back, though, we're going to have some pretty nasty pressure in that back line. So the FEY Enchantress is here in the front. Oh, I got a little bit overexcited with her. So we're going to need to pull back, and let's go ahead and use an Earthblood. Can we get both of these guys? I don't know if we can, but let's go ahead and pop that right here. And it looks like Mel Gibson's going to be in the back trying to do his thing, but let's get these knights going here. These guys can go here as well, and then this one group can park right here. And good. Everything's going to code for the most part. Looks like we are taking some focus fire there. And with these spears, we're not going to get pressured, so let's actually just get them running up and around. I think that would be pretty good. So all the archers are kind of panicking towards the back line right now. This fight up in the hill obviously has gone in our favor, so let's pull them here. And the FEY Enchantress, what's she got going on? She's having a good old time. So let's go ahead and use the favor of the FEY. We can use it on the Pegasus Knights as they are laying a bit of a beating down on these archers. But they are taking some spear damage, so we want to kind of get them roaming. In group 2, let's actually go ahead and cycle them over to these archers. You don't want to leave your cav in one spot for too long. We do have another Earthblood, so this is actually probably a pretty good place to pop it. Let's get these guys going here. These men-at-arms can go here, and it looks like, yeah, we're just gonna feast up on the high ground. So the Pegasus Knights are in pretty good shape. We can get them going after those archers on the far side, and we do have a Chalice of Potion, so we want to look for like a fairly big infantry blob, with like right here, for example. Oh, that's so good. I'm really excited to see how this does. And let's go ahead and pop. Oh, Shield of Thorns actually has like an AoE effect. That's pretty nice. So a bit of a noob mistake right here. So I accidentally like left 2 infantry blobs. You always want to be pressuring the flanks with as many as you can. We get a nice little favor of the Fae, and let's get these halberds up on the high ground. And it looks like his archers and everything in the back line's getting a little bit ramshackled here. So we can go ahead and send some of these guys over here to kind of screen out that perimeter. And now that we got these guys up, let's run them up the hill. These guys want to go up here. You always want to be surrounding and just pressuring with as many tools as you can. You never want to be sitting stagnant. So we can go ahead and go after Mel Gibson here. Let's keep the Knight Errants and just have them slam into some of these infantry. And that's going to be all she wrote. So, yeah, a bit over-invested in the archers. He may be a little bit new to the game or may have been looking to try out something new. But regardless, you guys learned a few lessons about just not stacking up the troops. And, I mean, most of you guys probably already know that. But you guys saw how I engaged there. You definitely don't want to do that. And all jokes aside, you know, despite that wasn't the most competitive game, I would definitely recommend trying out this build against the Widows. It's pretty good. You get dual pressure with the Knights of the Realm and the Knight Errants, and like you have anti-infantry, you have anti-cav. It's mobile, it's threatening, and honestly, the Bretonnian infantry corps, like, even though they do struggle in a lot of matchups, they have a decent one there, in my opinion. So we're going to go ahead and jump over to another game, guys, and, you know, make it a little bit of a double cast for you guys. All right, here we go. It's showtime. But, yeah, I really do like that build. It's been pretty effective for me. So, all right, so we're going to be fighting the High Elves here, and who do we want to pick? Who do we want to pick? Do we want to do, like, Mass Goblins or some other shenanigans like that? Well, he's going to be playing High Elves, so let's go ahead and do the Vampire counts. That's always pretty fun, because we get to use Heinrich Kemmler, so... I would use the Gorst, but Gorst just gets like one-shotted by Dragon Breath, which is definitely not fun. So let's go ahead and get this. Heinrich is going to have the Cloak of Misted Shadows and the Chaos Tomb Blade. And for our main army, I actually think it's prudent to go wider here. So you just bring a ton of Graveguard with great weapons. You can get one of these guys. And do we want to get a Mortis Engine? Mortis Engine could be okay, but again, dragons and archers can pressure it very aggressively. So we could go with Double Terror Guys. So Double Terror Guys, how would that perform? I feel like that might be risky. If he gets like Tempest and, you know, the flying kind of goon squad, we could pretty much just get gibbed out of the game. So for the front, let's go a little bit wider with some of our low tier zombies. We'll get some skeleton warriors. Also, we just really want to be pressuring his back line with like a ton of stuff. Let's have a little bit of fun. We don't want to just be a complete stick in the mud. So let's get Feasters in the Dusk in the back line to get a little bit hog wild on those archers. Is there any other like fun Vanguard stuff? The Devils of Schwarzhofen, oh my goodness, that's just too memey. We'll get a Black Coach for sure. We could get a Corpse Card to provide some sort of an augmentation to our front line. We could go with the Claw of Nagash. It's so risky against like that archer play, but I think, no, it's too much. I think we're just gonna go with the Corpse Card, and then we can get some Blood Knights, and we probably want to cut a couple of these guys to get the Dire Pack. Can we afford those guys? Almost. I think we could cut one skeleton, good. All right, so we have some anti-dragon tools here, but I feel like this isn't enough. I mean, I feel like the dragons are just gonna kind of run shop on us, but Blood Knights are pretty good against dragons. We have a Black Coach, so we should be fine. I don't really know what man can do against such reckless Black Coaching. So let's go ahead and just slap some chevrons on those guys and get this show on the road. So good luck to my opponent, AXD, and let's see what happens. So just a disclaimer, I think this build has some meme elements to it. It's not like a super competitive build. Perhaps it can be made to work, though. I think the Black Coach and the Graveguard with great weapons and the swarming style of play. And honestly, I really do like KRELL in this matchup quite a bit. It's really nice having him be able to fight enemy, you know, High Elf Lords if they have like a, let's see, a Tyrion, for example, or if they're using, you know, Lore Master of Hoeth. KRELL has really good AP and duelist capability, so he's going to be pretty strong there. So, all right, my opponent has a pretty fast connection, so let's go ahead and get these Graveguard. And the real kind of breadwinners in our army are going to be the Graveguard. These guys really need to do some heavy lifting. So let's get the Corpse Card. I was about to say the Gorst card, but unfortunately there's no Gorst in this game. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry to tease you. So we're going to get the zombies in the front, just taking an initial high elf fire and just kind of skirmishing and screening. And on top of that, we're going to go ahead and get some skeletons out here, and we'll get some skeletons out here. All right, cool. And we're going to get Heinrich Kemmler over here. He's going to be ready to party with the boys. And the Feasters in the Dusk, they can actually do a bit of a Vanguard shenanigan. Where can they go? We could have them over here. That's a really far Vanguard, and they're not that quick. I mean, I think they have like 42 speed. Yeah, something like that. So I think actually we just like do them in this force right here, and that should be a little bit better. Great. So the Dire Pack and our Hunting Squad can be in Group 2. The Black Coach can be like among the boys. We're going to be charging in, having a good time. And this guy can be in Group 3. And let's actually square up over here, because I have a feeling he's probably going to deploy on the field over there. So, all right, so we got all the tools we need. Good luck to my opponent, and let's have some fun. All right, so we're going to advance Double Star Dragon. I'm very happy I didn't go with that Air Force. And the Feasters in the Dusk, we're going to scurry around. Doesn't look like he has any archers, so we don't really have to worry about any pressure. A Mortis Engine pretty much would have not won us the game, but it would have been very helpful. Although, I don't know. Double Star Dragon can really roast those guys. And what's with these shenanigans? Yeah, he does have high magic with Apotheosis and Tempest, so we definitely would have gotten like wrecked pretty hard there. But Star Dragons are strong, but if they do land and get surrounded by Blood Knights, they get killed pretty quick. So hopefully we can use our Lord as a bit of a you know, a taunt, like a taunt effect, and just kind of a, you know, draw in our opponent there. So we're going to be advancing with the zombie hordes. He's probably going to come and get ready to use a breath attack. He's probably going to go after the corpse cart, which is exactly what I would do. It's too slow to really dodge it, so it's pretty much a free kill there. And yeah, so the Feasters in the Dusk are going to come and lurk in the forest, and then we'll get a rear charge on those white lines. If anything, let's actually use the Feasters. Let's actually pull them up. So we'll go up and over here and use them to like chase down riding units. So when the white lines break, which they probably will, obviously, because I have so much infantry. And do we send in the black coach? I think we do. I think we go and like distract him, because he's going to be so focused on the black coach here that we should be able to do pretty good work. So the coach, we want to put in group 4. It's going to be microed separately. So we're going in deep with the coach, guys. And we got to make sure to keep the Blood Knights with our main force. And yeah, okay, so he hasn't reacted to the coach yet. So it looks like he's kind of prepping up a Dragon Breath attack. So let's go ahead and run over here. And yeah, so the Swordmasters of Hoth, they're you know, they're going to feel the wrath of the black coach. So it gets in there, just goes ham. We're just going to pull it right through. Just keep coaching, guys. We're just going to have a good old time. And honestly, if like his attention is on the black coach, I think we've already done pretty well for ourselves. So the Feasters, let's go ahead and engage everyone in the front line. These guys can go here. These guys can go here. Let's actually pull them around back. We want to get surrounds. That's really important. And sometimes when you do that pathing, like it just gets so screwed up. But great. All right, so everything's going to code. The Knights we're going to kind of keep back here by our Lord, because I think we should be able to do fine. Like, and it looks like, yeah, he's still chasing the black coach, which it's just getting wrecked by the Star Dragon. So I got a little bit sloppy with it. So let's go ahead and kind of pull it into these guys right here. And then we can pop the invocation on it to hopefully be able to stabilize it. I don't think we'll be able to, because the Star Dragons are pretty strong. But we're just going to kind of keep running it, having a good old time at our opponent's expense. And let's pull the Blood Knights over here. And great. So we do have KRELL. So we're going to pop KRELL in the back here, and the Feasters in the Dusk are going to come over here. These guys can kind of engage on those guys. And the coach, he's still going for the coach. He really wants that. So the coach is like a global taunt. So let's kind of keep running it around. And it looks like he might be able to get a good engagement there. So let's actually turn and see if we can kind of peel his Lord right here. I don't know if we're going to be able to. So the coach, we want to pull that up. Let's get these guys over as well. And Heinrich is going to have some zombie summons. So of course we want to use those back there. KRELL is going to be fighting some of these guys. And we do have that heavy surround right here with our Blood Knights. So that should be pretty good for us. Looks like the white lines are broken. So now we can pull in the Feasters in the Dusk to literally come feast. And yeah, all right, so we got our Blood Knights. They don't have the best surround. Heinrich Kemmler is safe, so he's not being compromised, which is, you know, already a pretty big win for us. A Star Dragon Breath coming down wasn't the best one I've seen, so that's good for us. We can go ahead and pop an invocation on this big pocket right here. Just keep chasing these guys. And the Feasters in the Dusk are, you know, they're feasting. They're having a good time. So KRELL is fighting these Swordmasters of Hoth with the zombies and skeletons, and honestly putting a pretty good dent in those guys. And the Blood Knights and Dire Pack, we're just going to keep chasing. So these guys actually broke through, so let's get them collapsing here. Let's get these guys here, and how's our Lord doing? So he's doing pretty good. So we can summon some zombies back here. And the Feasters, we want to have them keep chasing here. We don't want them to be like fighting like units that are still around. And it looks like he's going to be coming for us right here. So yeah, I think we just got to get the moves like Jagger right now. So let's get all these guys, get them kind of focusing right here. And then Heinrich, we can pop the Cloak of Mist and Shadows, which is going to give him huge physical resist. And we can kind of scurry him away. So all right, so far so good. So the Blood Knights are just continuing to chase down this dragon, so I think we just leave the hounds, and it looks like our corpse card got totally left behind there, so I don't even know. I had it moving with the main army, but you know what? At the very least, you know, he didn't kill it, and now we're going to get it in late game, so right? There's always a positive to be had, guys. So yeah, so we're just going to leave the Dire Pack to like surround his Lord here, and it looks like he's actually standing and fighting, so I think we might just want to turn around. I thought he was going to keep trying to like get away. But the bounce power is pretty even at this point. Let's go ahead and pop an invocation in the middle. We're going to take out his caster here, and it looks like his Star Dragon is getting mucked up by a lot of my infantry, which is very solid. How's KRELL doing? KRELL is just doing work over here, just taking those Swordmasters of Hoth out, which is really, really nice. All right, great. So we're a little bit overcommitted right here. So the Feasters are kind of on the outskirts here, so we want them to be chasing down those units and not wasting time with like healthy units. Let's get these guys here. And how are the Blood Knights doing? So his Lord is pretty much offline. So now we can put the Blood Knights in group 4, pull them forward, and aha, the corpse cart comes from the shadows. It's going to be engaging. Oh man, this is so great. I can't believe we forgot about it. And it's actually working out. Like he kind of forgot about it too. He's already used his Dragon Breaths. You know, guys, that was totally planned. I just didn't tell you guys. I was just thinking like, I'm just going to leave it in the back so he doesn't think about it. But the Dire Wolves are going to be able to chase down this prince right here. We can go ahead and get these guys going here, these guys here. And KRELL put up a great fight for sure. But inevitably, he's going to be crumbling here. And we do have a good surround. The Feasters in the Dusk couldn't quite get away from those guys, but it's okay. They definitely pay their dues. And the corpse guard's coming in. And, you know, at the very least, maybe he'll go after it and waste some time on it. We'll see. We're going to pull the Blood Knights over to the main army. We obviously don't need it over there. And we're going to save up our Winds of Magic. So let's go ahead and take an overarching look at everything. Looks like it's going pretty well for us. These white lines are going to get taken down. Our big blob is doing pretty well. So we're just going to kind of move over here. We can get some of these zombies going here. And the corpse guard, let's get this. And let's also get the Blood Knights and get them in position to deal with that other dragon. So the Dire Wolves, still with their anti-large and their speed, are going to kill his prince undoubtedly. We can get a really nice rear charge in those white lines, actually. But I feel like we probably should have just, yeah. I guess we have enough protection here. Cloak of Mist and Shadows is going to be up relatively soon. Our blob's going to be kind of pushing forward. Now we do have that corpse cart, which is going to be great. So we get that charge with the Blood Knights. Let's pull them back over here. We're going to use the zombies to kind of block these guys up, and it will take them some time. An attempted breath attack from my opponent didn't do a whole lot. We can go ahead and summon some zombies right behind these guys. Yeah, and I can still afford Invocation to Hex, which is exactly what I want. So we got that summon behind them. The Blood Knights, we need them to be pulling up and over. We don't want them to get caught on those guys. Let's get them up here, and we want to position them up and then crash down. So we want to make sure to pin him, and now he's in a great position to be pinned. So Heinrich can get his Chaos Tomb Blade and start beating on this dragon. We should have a pretty good situation here. Honestly, I don't know what else my opponent can do. He still does have a caster, but we do have a pretty good surround here. So let's actually get all these direwolves who did kill the enemy prince, and just kind of chase down this dragon and keep it from getting away, which is going to be pretty much the deal that seals the game. So I don't think he's going to be able to get away. He's trying to pull out. That's what she said, but, you know, she's not letting him. And I think these Blood Knights and these Dire Packs are going to get him. All right, great. So that's going to be it for them. So let's go finish off these Swordmasters of Hoth. We got that good surround. And, you know, the memes can become dreams, guys. You know, the meme dreams can be fulfilled. We were a little bit sloppy for getting that Corpse Guard, but honestly, it didn't end up hurting us that much. He didn't... Yeah, it worked out well. We were able to take out, like, a pretty... I mean, double Star Dragon can be really tough to deal with, and I mean, honestly, we did it. Like, the Blood Knights and everyone else were able to handle it and just kind of fend those guys off, and now we just have this big Doom Ball pushing forward. That's going to be it. That's all she wrote. So very well played to my opponent in AXD. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that Heinrich Black Coach. The Black Coach I was pretty sloppy with, too. I kind of just forgot about it, but again, with 2 Star Dragons chasing it, you know, at the very least, it kind of kept him from focusing Heinrich earlier on. But yeah, it was quite a bit of fun. So again, well played to my opponent. Hopefully you guys enjoyed Heinrich Kemmler and KRELL in action. And guys, we'll see you all next time. Take care.